Today, we're going to be talking about fear and greed, the two massive things which move the market. People think it's the technical side of trading which is the hardest. It really isn't the hardest part of it. It's actually the easiest. Feel the fear and do it anyway. And we know that we don't win 100% of the trades that we take. There's no such thing as a 100% winning strategy. So we're actually really low risk, which should make it an emotionally low charge for us to place that trade. I'm so passionate about doing that with something like trading. Hello everyone, welcome to the STARTrading Podcast. I'm Lewis.
I'm Sophie.
And today we're going to be talking about fear and greed, the two massive things which move the market.
Yes, I'm ready to get into this. So why are they so important? Why are we even talking about it?
So fear and greed is really, really important for a number of reasons. So when we look at the STARTrading methodology, for example, we've got 5 points of that methodology. All of those 5 points need to be mastered to be the best and most profitable trader that you can be. So when we are looking at the fourth element of that, which is mindset, two of the major emotions that come into impacting our mindset are fear and are greed, or is fear and is greed. So when we're looking at the markets themselves, the markets are moving based upon people pressing one of two buttons. So either pressing the buy button or they're pressing the sell button. The motivating factor between those two button pressing things is fear and greed as well. So when we're looking at financial markets, what we're really doing is we're trying to gauge mass group psychology, and that's what's going to allow us to identify which direction the market will move into next. And really all of technical analysis, all of trading in the STARTrading method comes down to, can we accurately identify, more often than not, because we're never going to get it correct 100% of the time, what direction the market's going to be moving in next. And fear and greed are two of the massive factors which play a role in helping us make that decision.
How do we read that into the markets?
Really good question. So we are using patterns. Part of the STARTrading method is pattern recognition. So when we look at chart mastery, element 1, it's what are the patterns that we're seeing? So where are we seeing opportunities where there may be a big sell in the market, a big sell-off in the market that we can capitalize on as well? So where is that opportunity? Or where are the positions in the market where we're seeing big opportunity to buy because maybe the market's quite low, it's been moving down for a long time, and now it's giving us this signal that it's ready to go up again. So that's why it's really important that we understand it when we're looking at the market.
That's so interesting. And then in terms of our own fear and greed, how does that play into our trading?
It's everything. It really is everything. Like I said, mindset mastery, emotional mastery is probably the most important skill. People think it's the technical side of trading which is the hardest. It really isn't the hardest part of it. It's actually the easiest. It's just the one we, before we start, think is going to be the biggest hurdle, because we've got our own insecurities, our own limitations about what we think it actually means to trade in terms of math skills and graph skills and all of that, which you really don't need a lot of that at all. So when we're looking at the mindset element, understanding our own natural tendency of fear and greed, because I've kind of changed, to be honest. When I was younger, I was very risk happy, more greed based. I wanted the big house, the nice car. That's kind of what my motivator was. As I've gotten older, and actually I don't think it's to do with age, I think it's actually as I have more wealth, my focus now is more on protecting that wealth rather than risking the little I had to get more. I'm more about protecting that wealth now. So that impacts my trading too. So when I first started out my trading journey, I was probably placing more trades than I should because I was so eager to get into the market. And in previous episodes, we've talked a little bit about how your trader personality can impact that as well. And so my greed-based decision-making was making me place more trades. Whereas now I'm more fear-based because I'm looking more on the protective side. I sometimes don't place as many trades as I should do. Whereas what we really want to do as traders is not be influenced personally by fear or greed. We want to be as balanced as possible, as neutral as possible. And the way that we do that is follow a system.
That's amazing. Because my question was going to be, okay, if I'm feeling really fearful, how do I get out of that? Or if I'm feeling really greedy, how do I get out of that? And the answer seems to be follow the system, follow the criteria, get your emotions out of it, and just go down your tick list. And if it fulfills the list, take the trade. And if it doesn't, then don't.
Yeah. And that is so easy to say.
Yeah.
Right? So what's the emotional element behind that? And we talk a lot about this on our mentorships and our trainings, about removing the emotional burden from your trading. And that's positive and negative, right? Because we want to be as neutral as we can be. So when we are looking at a tradable opportunity, there's the system that we overlay onto the market, and then brilliant, does that meet or does that not meet? Something weird and wacky about the brain will warp that image and make us think there's an opportunity when there isn't, or make us think there isn't an opportunity when there is. So how do we build mastery around our emotions? Part of that is actually building mastery around the system. So in the last week's episode, we were chatting about what does backtesting mean? Why do we do it? Why is that data so important? And this is part of the reason why it's so important, because that data builds our confidence to be able to stick to the strategy, and that mastery of applying the strategy correctly. Then when emotion does get involved, the volume on that emotion is going to be lower, and our ability to stick to the skill set and stick to the strategy will be a lot easier.
Yeah, okay, because I may be a few weeks away from live trading, but I imagine I'll feel quite fearful of doing that, hitting the button.
Yeah.
So I just need to go back and look at all the homework I've done, all the data I've collected, all the good results that I've hopefully had by then, and just have confidence in that and myself, and feel the fear and do it anyway.
Feel the fear and do it anyway. And we know that we don't win 100% of the trades that we take. There's no such thing as a 100% winning strategy. So in our early days of trading, every loss, every losing trade, or we like to call it the cost of doing business, because trading in essence is a business, because businesses make you money, or should do, and hobbies cost you money. So we don't want trading to be a hobby, we want it to be a business, we want to treat it with that respect. So when we're treating it with that respect and we're looking at our data, we know that we don't win 100% of the time. Our first trade may not be a winner. Now, I would love it. I would absolutely love it if every single one of my students' trades won, or at least their first trade was a winner. But that doesn't always happen. So if they have a loser, or if they have a couple of losers, like straight off the bat, that can really knock their confidence. So how do we rebuild that confidence? We go back to our data. So you've created that, you know this is how the strategy does perform. And that data tells you how often you're likely to get losers, how often you're likely to get winners, what the balance is, what the ratio is between those, what the worst losing run is, what the best winning run is going to be as well. So you've got all of this information that can help steel and strengthen your resolve to stick to the process and the strategy.
Amazing. So what is your best advice for people feeling emotional when they're trading?
Have a drink. No. We sometimes we call it a fridge break. So Josh Jones, head mentor, who was a guest last week, he talks about having a fridge break. I like to just have a mental break from the screen,
that's good.
go and do something else. Personally, for me, I reset quite well in nature, so I'll go for a walk. So it's a pattern interrupt for my brain. So if I'm feeling quite emotional, for whatever reason, I'll pattern interrupt, I'll go and do something different, I'll come back and look at the market again with fresh eyes. It's really, really important to do that. So if you're feeling emotional, I think actually the first thing to do is recognize that that's normal. You're a human being, and actually as human beings we are pre-programmed to avoid risk at all costs. Like we are self-protection creatures. That's the way our brain is wired. And if we don't know automatically the outcome, our brain works on this thing called a prediction loop, and if it can't predict with certainty what's going to come next, it goes into panic or it goes into protection. So that's why it's very natural to feel, especially in your early days of trading, nervous, a bit anxious about placing the trade. But how do we master that? Repetition. Keep going, remind yourself of what the data is, but there's certain lessons that you can only learn by trading it live. So feel the fear, do it anyway, and again, remove the emotional burden, right? So do you remember from our previous podcast, what's the maximum amount you should start with?
500 quid.
500 quid, yeah. Absolute maximum 1,000, around about 500 quid. So that's going to remove the emotional burden as well, because we're only risking 1% of that. So on £1,000, that's £10. So we're actually really low risk, which should make it an emotionally low charge for us to place that trade.
I like that. Very good. So this week in my training, I've been back testing. I've done so much homework, which is increasing my confidence a bit because I'm getting good results. And
is it? Because I remember last week we said that you felt like it wasn't a natural process. Has it gotten easier, that process?
Yeah, I've literally got my printouts here.
Oh, wow.
The criteria.
Yeah. Don't give it away. That's the secret sauce.
Yeah, I've got my prints out here and I have them next to my laptop and I'm just going bam, 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 bam. So yeah, much more natural. Yeah. And the group helps the community.
Yeah.
You can put a little screenshot if you're not sure and people can comment on it, which is really helpful. And you can see, you show who is qualified to trade those strategies as well.
Yeah.
So it's really, really good. And I've got different bits. So Josh gives feedback every week in the group coaching and he's given me some specific things each week to focus on. So he's like, try this, try that. And then the next week, yep, great. Now try this and this. So it's kind of, you can see it moving along.
See the progression, yeah.
Which is great. And I also attended your round table day, which was great. So we all went to London. There were about 8 of us in the room, right? And it was kind of split into one-to-one coaching, which was amazing because with the back testing and the homework, you're doing all these like dated trades, right? And then storing them and then getting feedback. But this was instant feedback, really good. So the learning curve was massive. We also talked about our why. And we went really deep into that and I wasn't really expecting that. So why did you bring that into the day?
Why did we why?
Why did we why?
So the reason we why is because trading isn't get rich quick. So, and I'll say that until the cows come home. It will make you wealthy, but you're not going to be wealthy overnight. And so because what we're teaching people is a skill set, they have to commit to learning that skill set. And if you aren't connected to a strong enough reason why you want to learn that skill set, what your desired outcome is going to be, what trading is going to give you, what it's going to afford you, what type of lifestyle you're going to have as a result of that trading, it's going to be a lot easier for you to give up and stop the journey. And we don't want that. We want people to make it all the way to the end and be successful traders for the rest of their life. And anything worth doing isn't easy 100% of the time. So having that reason why you're doing it is so important because it's going to get you through those days where you can't really be bothered. It's easier to do something else. It's easy to not do. And we want to make it hard for you to not do because you've got a really strong reason why this is going to impact your life and those around you in a really positive way.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. And you did the exercise with a few people. And I think we started by writing, I want to be a profitable trader because.
Yeah.
And so I wrote a sentence. And then you were like, but ask yourself why. And now ask why again and again.
Yeah.
And shall I show you what I wrote on mine?
Yeah, that'd
shall
be
I
amazing.
share it with the group?
Yeah.
Okay. So initially I wrote, I want to be a profitable trader because I want a new skill that consistently pays me and so I can buy my own dive centre.
Nice.
Because I'm a scuba diver.
Yeah.
But then I had a whole thought process going deeper and deeper. My businesses now take a lot of my time. My long-term plan is to sell the business, get a dive business, spend time with the kids, have more freedom. This would focus more on fun, on my community around me. I could have impact on community around me because I'm settling in a new place. I want to do that. Why? Because it's helping community. Why? Because it's more social and fun. Who's important? My family. Why? Because life is short.
Yeah.
So I've now got this vision of financially secure, increasing income, investing in property, diving and family. But the first sentence I wrote was, I want something that pays me.
Yeah.
I just want some more money. So that was amazing to go deep into it. And I think we all did that at the same time we were writing. And you could just see this going off in people's heads like, oh, yes. Yeah. And you kind of ignited this, this drive and motivation in people.
Yeah. And I'm so passionate about doing that with something like trading because trading is the doorway to two things, time and money. Because our style of trading is 30 minutes, you literally have the rest of your day to do what you want to do. So when you've got your trading to the point where you're making full-time income or more from just 30 minutes a day, you have all the time you could possibly want to do what the heck you want, when you want, with who you want, and you've got the money to enjoy that time as well. Why would people not want to do that? It's actually madness to not want to do that. Yeah. And when you connect deeply with your why, and I think this goes back to one of the episodes we were talking about, why people want to learn to trade because they want to leave their job. It's such a strong reason, but it's actually quite a shallow one. Well, why do you want to leave your job? What are you going to do when you leave? What are you going to do with your time? I want to travel. Well, where? Why do you want to travel? What's that actually giving you? Because I think as a society, we are not very good at actually deeply connecting and thinking. We're not good at deeply connecting with ourselves, and we're not good at deeply connecting with others. And that's partly why I wanted to build not just an education company, but a community.
Is this your why?
It's partly my why,
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, and my why changes over time as well, partly because I've hit some of my milestones, and then I want to take it to another level, and that's partly my nature as well. I like growth, I like the challenge, dare I say it, I like a bit of stress. So, and people ask me all the time, why, if you're such a good trader, Lewis, are you running a company teaching other people? I was like, well, I've done the thing of mastering the skill set. I've done the 30 minutes a day. I've done the 30 minutes a day trading, travel the world, sat on beaches, and I got a bit bored. Like, that was my why. Like, I wanted to be able to travel the world. I've done it. And I got to the point where I was traveling so much, I stopped enjoying it. And going to airports became a faff. And having to go to another country became a faff. And I'd walk around a beautiful city and think, well, I've seen this. I've seen something like that. I was like, how ungrateful. Like, it disgust is maybe a bit of a strong word, but I was a little bit like, what's wrong with you, Lewis? Like, you're having amazing experiences and you're not grateful for it because it's become just a bit meh. I was like, I'm doing too much of that, and I need to start filling my bucket, and the way I like to fill my bucket is to fill other people's buckets. So that's when trading as an education company, as STARTrading, started to emerge more and more, because that would actually allow me to scratch the itch of helping other people.
Amazing. I love it. And we also covered the 3 C's.
Yes.
Do you remember what they are? So
the 3 C's are our mindset tools. So it's confidence, consistency, and competence. So when we've got all those 3 things in place, you are a bulletproof trader. And that's where we want people to get to. But you're not going to build consistency if you're not confident and if you're not competent. You could be completely consistent in all the wrong ways if you don't have competence. So we need to have that in place as well. It's really, those 3 are the foundation of your trader mindset.
Amazing. Well, it was a great day. It was a really, really great day. So thank you for that. Hopefully there'll be lots more.
Hopefully.
We can get together in real life with the gang and do a bit of coaching and things like that. I also met, because you have part of the community invited to those days, but you also have new people pop up as well.
Yeah.
And I was sat next to a guy who'd spent tens of thousands on some dodgy training company. It was just like, I lost lots of money, and it was really shit training.
Yeah.
And he was like, just kind of looking at my notes and things, going, so what do you do in this case, and what do you do in that case? And I'm like, just talk to Lewis to Lewis and sign up to the course, and you'll learn it properly. But
and this is the problem with the industry itself, is there is so many charlatans and sharks out there, and that's why trust is, I mean, you said it in episode 1, like, trust is such an important one. You need to have that trust with whoever you end up going with, and he does trust us now, which is very, very nice, and we've we're working with him, but you can end up paying a lot for not a lot. We like to do the opposite. Part of our core value system is to go above and beyond and make sure we're truly helping people. Amazing.
I love it. Should we go for a question?
Yeah, let's go for a question.
Snack?
Yeah.
So the question is, can anyone learn to trade? I'm in my 50s. Can I start now?
Oh, lovely question. I would say most of our students are probably between the ages of 30, 35 and probably 50, 55. That's probably where the bulk of our students are. We do have some outliers on either end. We've got like a 13-year-old that's learning to trade because his dad wanted to put him through the course. So he's starting young.
Gosh, their compound interest will be all right, won't it?
Exactly. We've got 70-year-olds as well who are learning to trade. So really anybody at any age can learn to trade. Technically, you have to be about 18 to own your own trading account. So that's important. But other than that, anybody at any age can learn. I used to get asked the question, can literally anybody on the planet trade? And I used to say yes. I don't think that's an honest answer anymore. Again, open honesty, we like that. I would say 99% of the world can trade, yes. You do have to have a certain base level of intelligence, but I've only met 1 or 2 people that wouldn't be able to do that, which sounds awful actually now saying it out loud. But they just didn't have the brain to. They couldn't even understand really what I was saying in terms of very foundational things. But you're not going to know if that's you unless you've done at least a small minimal training. And there's a difference between knowing that this isn't for you because it's completely over your head and you literally can't even grasp basic concepts of what we're talking about, as opposed to you do a introductory training and it's a little bit over your head because it's the first time you've heard it, but you are grasping some of the concepts. That's a very, very different position to be in, which is why we do our free masterclasses and we do 5-day challenges as well.
It's really good to do a little taster and dip in because it is really accessible and simple and clearly taught. Cool. All right. Should we snack?
Let's snack. I think it's my turn to give you yours first. Right. So today's secret snack thingy is... Oh, I'm going to go with this one. It's a rustler.
Okay.
I don't know if you're going to like these.
Okay.
So,
Ready?
ready.
Oh, what's this?
What are these?
These are... it's a little long packet. They're called Millions. Iron Brew.
Iron Brew.
Oh, I'm a bit excited. Where did you get these from?
Oh, it's a secret.
The tiny, tasty, chewy sweets. Should we crack it open?
Crack it open.
Oh, how'd you get into it?
Do you like Iron Brew?
I wouldn't choose it, but it's just orangey, isn't it?
Orangey, tangy. I don't know. I haven't had Iron Brew in a very
Here you
long
go.
time.
Right, I've shaken a few into our hands. This is fun. What made
I don't
you
know what
choose
to
this?
expect. It's just a bit different.
Chewy.
Like stale chewy though.
Bit dry. I'm getting like a
I'm getting cherry cola.
aromatic, like air freshener taste.
Oh, it is a bit air freshener, isn't it? Nothing like processed
Kind
sweets.
of cakey.
Mm.
Vanilla-y?
There is vanilla, but like marzipan vanilla.
Oh, don't say that. That'll put me right off.
I don't like marzipan either. I think I'm allergic to marzipan, so hopefully it's not got marzipan in.
Oh, God.
That'd be not great.
Because it's nut-based, isn't it?
I'm
bad.
not sure I want to eat the rest that are in my hand because I feel like it's going to take me a long time to chew through it.
I give it, surprise, I'm going to go 10.
Yes.
I had no clue that this would even exist. Taste, however, I'll go for a 2. They're
Wow.
better than the Minty Willies that you once presented.
Wow, what a sentence. There we go, got my side eye.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not going to eat the rest of
Do you
these.
want a snack?
Yes, please,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, here we go.
I don't know what to do with these.
Right. Ready?
Nearly.
Just throw
these.
them on the floor.
Yeah. There we go.
Okay, close your eyes. Oh, rustly.
Oh, it is rustling.
Okay,
Oh, that sounded heavy.
you can look.
Oh, hello. This is a sweet one.
Wow, I'm
What is it?
shaking it up a bit. Is it? What can you see?
So, for the people at the back, these are called flips. They're in a very lovely, shiny blue packaging. They're pretzels, but they are cookies and cream flavoured pretzels. And I do love cookies and cream, and I do love pretzels. So
Okay.
I'm hoping they're salty sweet.
This could be a good one.
So I'm going to throw out from surprise already 10.
Yes. Oh, we
Definitely
did well this
surprised,
week.
yeah. I mean,
Is
the diet
this-
is well out the window. I won't lie.
Is this combination going to work?
Oh, very nice smell.
Are you going to share?
No,
He never shares.
no, I'm sharing now.
They smell like pretzels, which are a bit creamy.
Oh, do you know what they remind me of? Pancakes, maple syrup, and bacon, because it's got that sweet and salty. I actually quite like them, but the pretzel is a bit stale, I feel. It softens the pretzel. Oh, yeah, I love it. I like salt, and that's a nice kick of salt.
Yes. Okay, what are we saying then? 10 surprise.
10 surprise. They're quite moreish. I feel like they're very rich, so I might get bored of them before I can actually finish eating the packet. I'm going to go 9 out of 10.
We did well this week.
Very good week. High five to
High
that.
five. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Cool. Well, thank you for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.